January 14, 2026. And today I'd like to talk to you about my day today. It's Wednesday here in Australia and I normally go to my gym. I've been going in the mornings because usually on a Wednesday we have our ladies meeting at our local church, or my local church, which is about 35 minutes away. I can't attend it on a Sunday, but I try and go to the ladies meetings on the Wednesday. But because I thought it was not going ahead today, I had made an appointment to go to the gym, which is about an hour's drive. And on the way to the gym, I was all dressed in my gym gear and ready to go because I didn't want to cancel on my awesome support worker who helps me in the gym. And as we were driving to where I go to the gym, my support worker's car was began playing up like it wasn't going to get us for that hour drive. So we decided to pull into her mechanic, which was about 5 minutes from where the ladies meeting was taking place. And we thought, well, maybe God had rearranged our plans and had caused us to go to the ladies meeting. So she could get her car in and looked at then and there, but in about a couple of hours. So we couldn't go to where I was going for my gym. So we went to the ladies, which was, like I said, just around the corner. And I'm so glad we went. It was just wonderful to see everybody again and to get together. We have a great time of worship and we share and we watch a video together. We watched Derek Prince, which I love Derek Prince, and it was a nice time. And it was interesting, there was mention of some news that was going on in Iran. I haven't had television reception for 3 years, and I'm quite happy with that because I can't stand mainstream media. I get angry, I get cranky, and I have had a nice opportunity to not have that interfering in my life here, which has been great. However, I do notice that I get behind in some global and local news. And today during our ladies meeting, this news was brought up about what was happening in Iran. And I realized that I'm missing something, and I really should be aware of these things going on so I can pray about them. And ironically, I was saying to my support worker in the car before we got to her mechanic that with these videos, I'm wondering about different ideas, and I'm going to do different things in the videos, introducing you to my quails when I'm incubating them, raising them, other things, cooking. I do a lot of different cooking, preserving and things like that. But I also mentioned perhaps once a week bringing forward an Australian news update for you guys out there who might not know what's happening in Australia. And yeah, so ironically for me personally, it was interesting that this came up in the ladies group where I felt that I need to start paying more attention to my local area and the global things as well. But yes, it all kind of revolved around news that I was missing, news that I feel that I should know, and news that I should be praying about. And I just thought that was interesting. So God definitely did something in me in regards to the conversation that I'd had prior in the car on the way to my gym, which, as you know, didn't eventuate. So yes, see, I stopped watching mainstream media around about 2018. I had already completely given up on channels 7, 9 and 10. I can't stand them. And I was, don't judge me, I was back then watching ABC, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, and I had found for several years that they were the least biased up to about 2018, maybe 2017. And I noticed a wild swing of biased news. And so I gave up on all mainstream media news. I do still find it difficult to find the right places to get the correct information that isn't bias, but I feel that today for me was an invitation to seek those out and to find some good news online through YouTube. Basically the only way I can get the news, and yeah, start praying really, and also getting more involved in Australia, in our local news. So yes, but there is, you know, one thing that was definitely a part of the meeting was what is going on in the world in several areas, and it's nasty, and it can't be at all good for the people who live there. And we're so lucky in Australia and in America. We're lucky where we don't have these horrific things take place, and I'm very grateful for that. But however, we have, you know, we've all had pretty wild shaking over the last, 7-8 years, and everyone's been affected by things that have gone on in the world. And so I am drawn to read this something that I'd taken from Lana Vawser's email. So her email was sent out on the 19th of December 2025, and I'm going to read that to you now. It says, "Peace in the midst of turmoil is spiritual warfare, as one finds stability in an unstable world. Peace, or shalom, is something that we can find, but it is also something that comes to us supernaturally. As we know the Holy Spirit more, all fruit should be more evident in our lives, and that includes peace. Peace in the Holy Spirit is not just rest, but also an active place of blessing. It is a dynamic of justice and righteousness. It may not mean riches, but it insinuates no lack." And for me, the two come together well, for me today anyway, that in turmoil, we're lucky here. It was a horrendous time for a while, but not as horrendous as some suffer in the world. And I think about Christians in other parts of the world that are under persecution, that are under death, and how they carry the peace of God in boldness and courage, and standing up for what they believe in. And I think us in the Western world have a lot to be grateful for, a lot to be thankful for, and we can be praying for these people whenever we can, because they need our prayers, and we also need to rise up in what God has called us to do. And we might not be able to go there physically and help them, but we can certainly in prayer help them. So that's been my day today, how God has brought some things together and put it in this video for you and for me. And I hope it challenges you, and I also hope that it blesses you. And I will leave the video at that, and I'll see you in another video sometime soon.
Okay, let's go.